Hey folks, hope everyone's doing well out there. Thought I'd take a little bit to talk about my woods running bag. What is a woods running bag? Well, it's sort of a general purpose setup that I can use for anything that takes me out away from civilization. Whether that's a day out plinking with my 22s, a longer day hike, a short overnight, a canoe trip, I can throw it in my car and use it as a get-home bag if I ever needed to get back to my house on foot, or as a supplement to a larger bug-out bag, just a general-purpose woods survival system that has some extra storage to facilitate whatever the day has in store, but without being super bulky and heavy. I built it around the Maxpedition Pygmy Falcon II, which is an excellent day pack-sized offering with 18 liters of carry capacity, some PALS webbing, and room for a couple 1-liter water bottles. I really like this bag, and it's held up really well over the 3 years I've owned it. Let's take a look inside. In this first pouch, I don't really keep too much at all. Just a pair of Mechanix Gloves, which I find extremely handy to have in the woods for doing all sorts of tasks. Why not have the extra protection for your hands if you need it? I also use it as an admin pouch for my keys, wallet, and phone when I leave my car. In this second pouch, I usually have a fixed blade knife. Right now it's an Esee 3, which is one of my favorite all-around knives. A Bahco Laplander folding saw, which is a very useful woods tool that also happens to be quite affordable. I have a bunch of these laying around and use them all the time. A Lansky Puck sharpener, which is great for keeping an edge on various tools. Knives, hatchets, tomahawks, axes. It has a coarse side and a fine side and really comes in handy. Another tool that I have a lot of them just laying around everywhere. In this little Maxpedition pouch, I have a ferro rod. I'm big on redundancies, so I think that you can never really have too many ways to start a fire. Here's my primary fire starter, a mini Bic lighter wrapped in duct tape. It's an easy way to keep some extra duct tape around. Mini Bics are plentiful, cheap, and they work well. Some earplugs for plinking, and a tea light candle, which can be very useful for fire starting or as a supplemental light source or heating up a can of food. On this lanyard, I have a P51 can opener and a CRKT iota, a little eating tool, spork, bottle opener hybrid deal. For lighting, I have my trusty Fenix LD22. It takes 2 AA batteries, which I like because you can find them anywhere, unlike some of my other lights. I also have a Petzl Headlamp that takes AAA batteries. Nothing fancy, but it served me very well. I also have spare batteries for my electronics because, again, I'm all about redundancies. Illumination is important. 4 AA's and 6 AAA's on these great little battery holders. Alright, so that's the front pockets. Let's get into the main pocket. This is my med kit. I have a cat tourniquet staged right in the front. Then inside I have an Adventure Medical Kit's Trauma Pack, which has quick clot, gloves, various bandages and dressings, tape. It's basically a pre-made IFAK with all the basics. I have a bunch more everyday first aid supplies too. Bandages, pads, band-aids, triple antibiotic ointment, some wet wipes for staying clean on the trail. In this Ziploc I have an emergency blanket, some more wet wipes, some Q-tips, and some TP and a few other hygiene items. You definitely don't want to be without TP on the trail. This is a tinder bag from the Hidden Woodsman. And in this bag I have an Altoids tin with some cotton balls soaked in Vaseline for fire starting. And I like to just keep some small dry kindling or tinder in this bag as well. In this little pouch I have some duct tape over an old credit card. It's a great way of storing some extra tape. A cheap multi-tool with some pliers, drivers, blades, and all the usual suspects. Some jute twine, which is great for cordage or as a redundant tinder or fire starter. And the third fire starting layer, a waterproof match container filled with matches. Here's a little pocket stone for sharpening knives. In this section, I have a couple tea light candles, a chemical glow stick, a Sawyer mini water filter, a compass, a cloth bandana, and some water purification tablets. In this pouch, I just carry some snacks. I have some tea and some instant coffee in this Ziploc, some granola bars in this Ziploc, a couple cans of tuna, and a can of sardines. That's all you need. This is a heavy-duty emergency blanket that could also be a shelter if you needed it. Here's a pair of dry socks, which are of the utmost importance when you're in the woods. A metric ton of paracord, certainly not going to run out of cordage. Last but not least, I have an Anker solar charger for my phone. I'm always making little tweaks to my setup, but I'm pretty happy overall with where it's at now. I hope maybe you got some ideas of what to do or what not to do from this video. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.